a story of a man named John and a company that he called Get Her Done. He promised new backyards to all these people. They say the work ain't done.
I went through something that I wouldn't want my worst enemy to go through.
Alicia Torres says John Moreno knocked on the door of her new build at the Ridge in Johnstown in December with an offer.
He gave us like an amazing deal for our backyard. It was gonna be $26,000 and he was gonna do turf and concrete and rock.
So she and her husband took out a loan, hoping to have a place for a swing set for her toddler and her baby on the way.
Yeah, he did the stamped concrete and then the 2 slabs over there, which you can see the dirt already coming out from underneath.
She says he asked for the final payment, she paid him, then everything stopped.
There was a lot of excuses. He just lost a family member. He's dealing with like his mom having pneumonia.
So this was supposed to be where we had grass out here in the middle.
Down the street, Maddie Kelly hired John to build out her backyard with a special walkway for a very special reason. Her daughter.
She's in a wheelchair sometimes. She struggles to walk. We wanted something to be able to get her to the grass.
Soon, she says, excuses started.
Said his mom had pneumonia.
And work and communication stopped.
This leaves me with a blank backyard, a drain savings account.
Maddie and Alicia called the cops.
Initially, they told me there was nothing that he could do because he had started work in my yard.
He started the project, so nothing we can really do.
So it was a civil matter.
But was it?
Reaching out to you guys was a huge help.
Steve on Your Side found 7 people in the last 4 years who've taken John Moreno to civil court and won.
I've not gotten a dime.
That includes Destiny and Kelsey in another new build community in Severn.
We absolutely have trauma bonded over the experience. That we can thank him for, I guess.
Their backyard projects fizzled with Moreno last summer.
It just feels like we were taken advantage of.
We were taken advantage of.
And it seemed small claims court was their only option.
So I spoke to a police officer about it. He told me that the police wouldn't do anything, that it was a civil matter.
A civil matter.
It's a learning curve, but we're trying to get there.
Michael Deenan is a financial crimes investigator in Broomfield, and he admits some police departments ignore these cases because of their complexity.
And some of these contractor frauds, they are aware that most police agencies, especially if they're smaller, will tell the consumer that it's a civil case, and they take on the laws of averages of that no one is going to report them, or they'll be told it's civil and the consumer will give up.
But you shouldn't give up. The law is actually pretty clear on this. A contractor can only use your money for your project. And if you could prove that you paid for something that you didn't get, or you paid for supplies that were never delivered, the case isn't just civil, it's also criminal.
In the last couple of years, they've gotten more aggressive in prosecuting these cases. They've gotten more aggressive in finding them.
This was going to be concrete the whole time.
How much you pay him?
Almost $10,000 total.
And what'd you get for that?
Wow. A bunch of dirt was moved around. My steps were taken out, so I couldn't use my patio.
3 years ago, Randy, Jerry, and Stanley also hired John Moreno back in 2022 to build their backyards in the Aurora Highlands.
He just stopped showing up.
I sent him a text. His mother died. And then somebody replies a text and said, this is John's mom. His mom died. Now his mom is sending me a text.
They say he didn't get her done there either.
We finally got together and called the police, and of course that's a civil thing. So we escalated, we're like, this is not a civil matter. This is a con artist who does this for a living.
The Adams County DA decided Randy, Stanley, and Jerry's case was a criminal case, pressing felony theft charges against Moreno. Court records show he didn't show up for his trial. 3 years later, that case is still pending.
Had they not let him back out on the streets after we had him put away, the people that have been victims since us wouldn't have been victims.
How does this happen? How do you have somebody who has been reported repeatedly over and over and over doing these crimes and has warrants out for his arrest, and he's still out doing this to people?
After we told Alicia and Maddie what we found out about John Moreno, they went back to police. And just last week, he was arrested on 2 felony theft charges for what happened in their neighborhood in Johnstown. After he bonded out of jail, we were able to get in touch with him by phone, and John Moreno says he's never stolen from anyone and insists that all of these cases are simply civil matters. I'm Steve Stager, Steve on Your Side, 9 News.